And we are here yet again in beautiful Kirtland, Ohio, at Lake Fact Radio Station, and live we have Abadon
Abadon.
Faluz.
Abadon Faluz, yeah.
I'm always afraid of butchering names, especially with my last name. I always get that butchered.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, yeah, my one fear. So, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Just shows and shows. Yeah,
Yeah, you and McFarland going and having your little mid. That was what, up New York area? And
yeah,
that?
up towards Clarence, Rochester, up in that
Yeah.
area. We were kind of bahing around. Just a couple days, 2-3 days we were out, and nothing big, little tiny mini thing.
And you guys just jamming out and doing things.
Yeah, doing some looping, yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing there. It's like, oh my god, I didn't realize he knew him.
Yeah, we do quite a bit of stuff together, yeah.
So, starting off, we're just going to go with the whole thing of where did the name come from. I always like that,
Yeah.
the interesting things of it.
All right, so a very long story short. When I lived overseas in Romania, I lived in Romania for a long time. I was in a couple really, really heavy death metal bands, and my stage name was Louis Seifer, spelled Louieseafur, like Lucifer, but Louis Seifer, right? Really fun,
Yeah.
catchy. So when I quit doing metal and went into this kind of folk stuff, people were like, "What's your stage name going to be?" So we tried to make some funny stuff about it. So I came up with Abadon. Abadon with the one D like that is Greek, and it means adversary or demon or devil is what it means, right?
Yeah.
It's used in 2Ds. It's Hebrew, meaning the same thing. Faluz is spelled Faluz. Is a tricky way of saying man's area. So it means devil's area.
I like it.
So I ended up using that because the style of music that I create is horror folk. I write horror folk music. So I stuck with that whole type of, everything's based around that. So the name I thought sounded tricky enough and sounded like a real name. So I use it as my stage name and then the persona there.
I like it.
Yeah.
I would never have thought the whole Greek meaning behind it.
Right, a lot of people, yeah. Well, a lot of people don't. I'm kind of I found it doing research. One of my 2 degrees, I went to Liberty University. I have my bachelor's is in theology and religion sciences, with and I had a concentration in
That
demonology.
makes sense.
So with that demonology came reading up on stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool name, and I've heard the name before. So
Definitely, it's unique.
yeah.
It makes
You see
you
it in
definitely
movies
stick
here
out.
and there, but but not.
But it doesn't, stand out,
Right. Yeah. It sounds like someone's actual name.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works.
I give you props for that. That's an actual good one.
Yeah, it's tricky.
So, my other thing in that, what first got you into going the whole, I want to be a musician?
That was probably 5 or 6 years old. I started playing piano and stuff and different instruments, and then I ended up really getting into music on my own, kind of playing guitar and just fiddling around. You know what I mean? Not really being serious about it. And then probably around my teens, and I would say probably around 12 or 13 or so, I started getting really serious, like really playing, practicing 2-3 hours a day, writing music. By the time I got out of high school, I was already touring. And from there, man, I just was like, all right, this is all I'm going to do for a living. And I've been on a few different labels, now being Lake House Records. But
Okay.
yeah, so, that's all it really was. It was just my way of expressing what I like to do. It was between that and writing. I'm also a published horror writer. So I write horror fiction and been published for a while. I write for a couple different magazines too. And those are music related, but the horror thing. And I decided to tie those together. I loved writing stories, and then I loved playing music. So I just said, I should kind of combine those in a musical way. And that's why I started doing what I was doing, the metal and then the horror fiction, folk music, and it's always been that kind of stuff.
Very cool. What was your first instrument?
Very first was piano. My second going up was like percussions, and then got into guitar. And my first was piano though, but I wasn't really good at it. Just kind of fiddled around, but then realized I really enjoyed it. But then guitar was kind of more. I was like, I really want to. I can carry that around with me. I can play that. So
It's less heavy.
Yep. Started getting into playing guitar, and I could take it on stage more often. And I could do more with it. So I was like, I'm gonna go that route. And ever since then, that's what I've been doing pretty much.
I got you in that. So far out of everything, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to make you actually pick out of your creations.
Okay.
So, your top 3 songs that would be up there that you absolutely love.
As far as mine that I
Yeah.
wrote, or covers that I listened to.
Or here, we'll actually do this up. Covers and what you wrote.
All right. So I think one of my favorite songs, I would say, of all time would probably be a song called Joan of Arc, which was done by Leonard Cohen. He was really early on in his career. Started doing music. He was very young back then.
Okay.
I would say second from that, I would say probably... as cliche as it sounds, I really like the lyrics of the song. Would be I always thought the Stones doing "Sympathy for the Devil" was really cool. When they wrote that and why they wrote it, I thought it was very interesting turn on that kind of thing. I thought that was neat. And then I would say honestly, my favorite song to sit and play and listen to, and I could listen to it over and over and over again, would be "Wind Cries Mary" by Hendrix. Love that song. That's a really, really cool song. It's a very pretty song. And then it goes into other things. I mean, there's a million songs like, but I say the top 3, I can listen to those. But you'll find me probably listening to Leonard Cohen, spinning that in my car more than anything else. I listen to everything he ever does. Really loved his poetry. His music was great. So yeah. As far as the other way, going my songs.
Okay.
That's tough because I write a lot of different things. I have 2 signed bands. One's called Ashley. We're a pop punk band. Sounds like Bowling for Soup, that kind of stuff. We write really fun songs. None of that's horror based. It's all just fun,
Yeah.
college style material, you know. So I have some songs there like. But if you were gonna say, okay, in this band, this thing, I would say probably I have a new song called "Conversations I Don't Care For," which is going to come up on a new album, which I just really, when I wrote it, I fell in love with the topic of it and what it was about. I just think it's a really cool song. Unconscious Effort of Turning, which is one of my bigger ones that I sell quite a bit. That's a Werewolf tune. I love that song to death. Like, I play that every show. And another song that I wrote on the old album, which is called When I Die, which I wrote after I actually had a really bad situation on tour. I had an AFib defib, dropped dead on stage, boom. I was out for a number of days.
Ooh.
Well, they obviously I lived. Ever since then, I've had heart issues more than I usually had, and but I lived from it, which was crazy. And there was a lot of experiences that I went through coming out of that. The days after and the weeks after, like how surreal things seemed. And so I wrote a song called "When I Die," which is a really cool song, and it's about that kind of thing. So those 3 songs are my favorite ones out of the hundreds of songs that I've written over time. But yeah,
Nice. It's so many people when I sit here and do that they really had to think that hard about it, and that
yeah,
you're sort of one of those fast responders, and that McFarlane fell underneath that too.
yeah. I'm pretty consistent on what I like, and everything has meaning to me as far as music goes. If it doesn't have any kind of meaning to it, it passes out of my mind quick. So if something attaches to me, it's there, and I'll listen to that song. I'll carry it. So those answers are pretty quick for me, because if they don't have any meaning, I quickly, it's gone, if I don't connect to it somehow.
I gotcha. If there's 2 out of your own work that absolutely mean the most, like the one that has the most complete, like deep meaning of whether it's a situation that was going in your life or that got you through it, and that, what would be those 2?
I would say there's a song called "Open Fist" that I do. That is about how humans treat each other. It's pretty crazy song. Very very Cohen style song. That one is pretty deep. And I would say probably "Unconscious Effort of Turning" be the other one, because of the topic. It's all metaphoric, but how people believe they're one way, and then they end up being another, and they don't sometimes realize it till later in life that they do these things, and that's hence the title, But
That's fitting.
I think those 2 are the ones I look at the most. Go, wow, okay, those were really cool. I like those a lot. The vibe is cool, and the way they're played is cool.
I gotcha. Definitely. I do like that though. how people treat one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it's pretty. Open Fist is pretty. It's graphic in the sense that the language isn't bad, but it's graphic in the sense of here's how things really are. I'm a black and white kind of guy. I don't
yeah,
believe in any gray areas. You know,
or completely putting sugar coating
yeah,
on it.
and that's the gray area.
Yeah.
People put nice little candy coats over things so that they feel better about themselves and things that they've done. I'm like, no, the world is not gray. Through my eyes anyway, my truth. It's black and white, man. You do things or you don't. And if you do things, you had reasons for doing them, and you can justify them all you want, but the mass public will look at it like this. There's perception and there's reality. Black and white.
Cool.
Period. You know what I mean? And that's just and from that, and it makes me sound like I'm very just that's it. You know what I mean? But that's how I view life. I look at it. There's consequences for everything you do. So there could be good or bad, period. But there's for everything. Even something you just say to somebody in the store, it's a consequence for it. And it's black and white. There is, there isn't. So a lot of the stuff I write about is very like, hey, listen to this subject, this topic. This is how things really are. This is how things can really be. You know what I mean? So here's a darker side of that, I guess. Sometimes when you think something's seems normal, but really kind of isn't.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
You want to jump over to one of the tracks in that? Or
Sure.
whatever song you want to choose?
Sure. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. So I was talking earlier about this song, "Conversations I Don't Care For."
Okay.
So this song is basically, if you've ever been through any kind of hospice care, people on their way out. Sometimes old people are home when this hospice takes place, and sometimes relatives, friends, people come over and they start talking about, while the person's still alive and sitting there, they'll talk about things that they want when they're gone. Like they'll be like, "Oh, I want that chair, and I want to make sure I have Gramps or my aunts or whatever piece of furniture or their clothes or this item," not realizing that they're sitting there listening, like, I'm still alive. You guys are talking about my stuff, like, yeah, I'm going to be gone, but can you guys decide that later? Because I'm still here, and now I feel like a piece of
That's
property.
true. I actually seen it.
Yeah, so the song is called "Conversations I Don't Care For," and it's about that topic. So through the eyes of the old man viewing it. All right, so. It's mighty fine to see you on a quiet day like this. Did you come for conversation, or something particular you missed? Sorry, Chief, I ain't got no money. So if that's what you came here for, I'll just drink my tea and honey, while you're staring at the door. Put one foot in front of the other. Find your way back home and rest. I'll spare you dark humiliation. I think you'll agree it seems what's best. What happened to your daddy? It's unfortunate, we know. Take note of all of his misfortune. It was a bitter way to go. I won't apologize for my candor now, and things I might or might not say. I'm here to drink my tea and honey, It's how I choose to spend my days. Put one foot in front of the other. Find your way back home and rest. I spare you dark humiliation. I think you'll agree it seems what's best. mighty fine to see you on a quiet night like this. I was never one for that conversation. It's something I will never miss. The others came and they took my money. So if you came to claim what's left, you can rummage through this old brick house. I think I'll go lay down and rest. I'll put one foot in front of the other, go to my room and try to sleep. I spare you dark humiliation, yeah. I think you'll agree to say the least. Put one foot in front of the other, find your way back home and rest. I spare you dark humiliation. I think you'll agree it seems what's best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That describes it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I wrote that, I don't know, it just kind of came to me. I was watching TV and I was like, this would be a cool idea. I just sat with my guitar and just planned it out, man. Just wrote it out. It was like a last minute thing. I really didn't plan on. A lot of my songs, I don't. Like, they'll be just, I'll be watching a horror film or reading some kind of book or something, and something will come up and I'll just immediately grab my guitar and go out to the studio and just write it down and get it done. You know what I mean? I rarely have ever planned out a song where I sat, it was like, these chords only work with this thing. I don't really do that very often.
That's what I was going to go and hit into, of
Yeah.
how your recording style are coming up with things.
Yeah, that's usually
yeah.
how it is, man. I'm reading a horror novel or something. I mean, I do several other jobs in the field. I score movies as well. So in my studio, I score films. I've done 4 or 5 films, and within that, maybe I'll be working on some kind of music for a background of a lab scene or a horror scene or some
Yeah.
kind of scene, and something will strike me. I'll pause what I'm doing, pick up my guitar, and write this song. And then I record it on my phone right there, so I know what I did. I set it aside, finish my job, come back to it later, and finish it all up and go done. But the meat and potatoes usually right then. It's like there.
That moment, okay.
Yeah, most of the time.
So, I'm going to sort of be my devious little evil self.
Right.
From a year from today, where do you want to be as a musician?
Same spot.
Same spot?
Same spot. I have no desire. When I was younger, I did the big label thing and toured all over the world and did all this stuff, and it was fun. I tour all over the United States now, and sometimes I go overseas if I can, But for the most part, I stick to home. I have kids,
Yeah.
I have a big family. Me and my wife have 9 kids, 7 girls, 2 boys. Big family. I don't like to be gone very much. If I'm gone a couple days, maybe a week tops. So I don't really say no. I'm on a label. I'm doing well. I'm making good money, man. I make a living doing music. I can support my family, no problem. So I'm happy there. I don't really need a lot of stuff. I think experiences and spending time with your family and kids and having those experiences are better than experience of like, oh, I went to this big show or I played this big. You know what I mean? I'm 44, man. I already did that whole thing when I was young. That's cool. I'm done with that. So in a year, all I really expected to see is just more songs, more music, man. Maybe do some cool other projects on the side or something. You know what I mean? But I don't foresee myself, making this big leap into, touring a 6-month tour and like I'm done with all that kind of stuff. I don't really see the purpose in it anymore.
Fair enough.
And the music world's changing, so it's not necessary. People don't do it that much anymore.
Yeah, you have to sort of revolve around the whole time, so that what's going on and all that.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe doing a few here and there more mini things. Just like what you and McFarlane did,
Yeah. I can see a lot of those. I like doing those. You go out for 3-4 days, maybe a week, and you're like, oh, cool, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm back home with the kids, and I don't miss them much. They don't miss me all that much. They can stomach that long apart, and and lets me get out there and still do what I do, without having to be gone for 5 months in a row or some crazy stuff, Plus, it's like I said, it's that kind of thing where I'm at this age and I'm like, all right, I've been doing music since I was a kid. I got right out of high school, started touring. Was on a label shortly after. My whole life has been music. So realistically, I can see me still doing music up till I retire. My contract with the new record company is lengthy. So if that transpires out and I stay there, which I will, I'll be at retirement age when I do that, when it ends. And at that point, who knows, man? Maybe I'll go back to writing. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll do film. Instead of scoring film, maybe I'll do film. I don't know. There's so many different things I can get into.
All you do is just go with the road and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't really have any kind of plans. There's no sense in that because things change, man. Things change.
Yeah.
Sometimes dramatically.
That's true. But with your sort of like past touring, that, right. What was one of the biggest venues you sort of played at?
Many years ago, I played an Airwaves festival. That was in Iceland, and it was huge. Wow. Yeah, that's like that. That's a big festival. That's the biggest thing I ever played. That was really, really cool. Outside of that, it's been normal stuff, man. House of Blues gigs, whatever. Although I will tell you right now, I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. My pop punk band Ashley is performing at the Browns game, the stadium on the 22nd of October. Their home game. We're out in the parking lot at the party, the tailgate party. We're playing that from 11 to 12. If you show up, we have tickets to the same night, way after the game's done, at the Beachland Ballroom, where we are playing a huge show called Make Some Noise. It's a Beastie Boys tribute. We're playing that. We'll have free tickets to give away to people who show up to the tailgate venue to hang out. So cool. That'll be fun. There's going to be a lot of people at that. So we're going to have a good time with that. So that's like a shameless plug.
So up near the stadium, that
yeah, we're right
lot?
there, man.
Okay.
We're right there in the lot, right at the tailgate party playing.
Just want to make
set
sure.
Up 11 to 12. We got free tickets for the show. We're going to hand out a few. 5 or 6 tickets we got that we set aside that we're just going to hand out to anybody that comes and wants them to go to the show that same night at the Beachland Ballroom starting at 8 o'clock. So yeah, and again, that's it's called Make Some Noise. It's a Beastie Boys tribute, so there's going to be a lot of cool acts there. Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, that would not be a bad time because let's face it, Browns fans are going to completely stay that long.
Yeah.
At least to watch the game. So going late at night, that's an actual real good idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
I give you guys props for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good time.
So, with that, I have to say one thing because looking off of when I ended up getting a flash drive in that, who does the artwork in that?
Oh, all the artwork's done by me.
Okay.
I do any media you see on my website, pictures, videos. The filming of the video and the editing of my newest video was done by Sand Studio out in Erie, filming guy. But any kind of media you see outside of that video is mine. I create everything. I create the images, pictures. I do all the editing on them, all the creation, shots, everything is all So I create all that. The albums are also all recorded by me in my studio and mixed by me. So I kind of do.
You're like the jack of all trades.
Yeah, I used to, believe it or not, for a short stint, I taught graphical media art at a college for a little while. It was a little side project I did for a couple years, and I do all the anything by Adobe. I mean, I teach it.
True.
Premiere, After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, all their stuff, all their meat and potato stuff. So when it comes to the media stuff, I kind of take care of all that. And, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. It comes. I try to keep that eerie kind of look. That's the thing. And to keep with that, I mean, if you see the sticker there, the new sign for my newest album, you'll see it. It's called the Ouroboros, which the Ouroboros is a snake eating his own tail. If you know about that whole thing, the mythology behind that. With
Actually,
that,
I could do this too.
Yeah,
do a video.
Yep. That being what it is, if you the album name History of Judecca, Judecca is Canto 31 of Dante's Inferno. Canto 31 is the city or the town of Judecca where the devil lives. So the album's called History of Judecca, and it's all about hellish things and the history of it. So a lot of my stuff is based around that kind of stuff. It's everything has meaning. Every album, every song has, they all fit together. It's a purpose. Everything is themed. You know what I mean? So the new album, same thing. This is the last full-length album I'm going to be putting out, the one you have in your hand there. Everything else will be, I'm putting out 2 EPs a year. So 2 5-song EPs a year, and that's how I'm going to do it for my whole contract. So it'll be, shorter albums, more in-depth songs, cooler stuff,
But yeah, that's fair enough in that. Yeah. It's not worth to wait a whole year in that for a whole elaborate thing. And that'll keep people plugged in.
That's the thing. People don't listen to full albums anymore. It's not very often. That's kind of went to the wayside. It's kind of gone.
And people waiting too.
Yep.
So.
Yep. They get tired of waiting. People are too. Everything's too fast food, man. Like no one wants to wait around. No one has patience anymore. That's long gone.
Fair enough. Yeah. It's a whole industry, net. What has been the most memorable time on stage for you?
I would say most memorable. That one's hard. That's a hard one because I've had a lot of them. I've had a lot of really cool gigs over the years.
Top 3. How about that?
Top 3 would not even be with this band, with me doing my solo stuff. Top 3 would be with an old band I had that was called Sarson. It was a battle metal band. We had some amazing shows. We played a show with Saliva that was really fun. It was a great time out the Odeon. Played with Saliva out the Odeon. The second most memorable one was we played my other band, Anthems of Apathy, which is a techno metal band. We did a show up in Amityville, New York at Revolution, again with Saliva. We played with Saliva. I played again with them, but with a different band. And then another show we played with Anthems of Apathy. We played with Electric Six at the Agora in Cleveland. That was just a little while ago. Electric Six came, and I'm a huge fan of their music. So that was a really awesome time. I think it was just a really fun gig. It was great. The bands were awesome. We had a really good time. As far as my gigs go, man, I like them all. I've never really had like a favorite over another because a lot of times what I do when you come out and see me, I'm known for doing this kind of. I play my music, right? But more or not, I'm playing a lot of covers. And how I do, because I love doing them. I love doing covers. I'm one of those guys you hear musicians like,
definitely
covers.
Down in Willoughby, that I could tell.
Yeah, people are like, covers are dumb. No, they're not. They're fun, Yeah. And as you heard me, I do my renditions of them. I change them totally, completely up, making my own songs, have fun with them, And then, that day you saw me in Willoughby, I played like 4 of my own songs, and the rest of them were all covers. Everything from Yellow Wolf to, to Tool to, and
all over.
Yeah, I did Land Down Under by Men at Work, and. So there's a whole bunch of different stuff I do, and I have a really fun time doing that because people like hearing what they know, they have a good time with it, and they like hearing these different renditions, making them new, and I get to experiment with stuff I grew up with and listen to, and I do some Leonard Cohen stuff too, and and that's fun. So every show I do, it's good time. I've never really had very handful of bad gigs where I was like, wow, where it's just not a lot of people there, or it's just very kind of low key. That's not very often. So. Most of them are a good time.
Fair.
Yeah.
Just like my mother, Nat. She'll be, as long as you go down to Willoughby, Nat, she'll be there.
Yeah. I play quite a bit in Willoughby. I'm there quite a bit.
You can definitely tell. But you had a choice to pick and play with any one of your choosing. Any artist to either collaborate or play with. That's alive or dead. Who would you choose?
Just one?
Okay, 3.
Because it gets tough.
I know. I'm sort of that bad person.
Yeah. I would say if I do a number one, I would love to write a song. If I could bring somebody back from the dead, it'd be Leonard Cohen. I'd love to write a song with him. Alive, Roger Waters. for sure. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm actually collabing with a really good buddy of mine, Joe Driscoll from Syracuse. Joe's quite an amazing artist. He's one of the first people that got me into looping years and years and years ago by me seeing him on YouTube. And I was like, I want to do that, you know? And now me and him are really great friends. Man, we hang out, you know. I kind of reached out to him. He played a show with me. And he did a benefit I did called Loopapalooza. And ever since then, we've been really great friends. And I was just down at his house, actually, this last weekend. I spent at his house, played a bunch of shows in Syracuse and, Oswego. And him, man, I got a new album coming out, and I asked him to kind of do a thing on it with me. He's going to hook up with me. That's, like, awesome. You know, that's the guy who got me into looping. So it's kind of like the teacher hanging out with the, you know.
Student, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And then you know, so, yeah, it's great. It's awesome. So that's something I'm really looking forward to with this new album. That's going to be on there. And I'll tell you what, another guy I absolutely have a great time hanging out with, and it's not very far from here. Have you ever been to Ashtabula Harbor? Ashtabula Harbor has a place called Briquettes. It's a 3-story smokehouse. The owner, Nate Rockwell, great blues player, big hearted guy, super like soul of gold kind of guy. You meet him, you love the dude. He's just a great dude. We jam. We can sit there and just play and improvise, and the connection's tight, man. Like, we're good friends. We jam well together. We have a good time, and we just, you know, we've done shows where we just sat there on 2 stools, no one even paying attention, and just jam, and we're in our own little world there. It's awesome. We have a great time. He's another one. He's going to be on this new album too, and yeah, he's great, man. So that would be, he's not famous, but, you know, he's famous to me, you know, so yeah.
Hey, that's all that counts in
yeah,
that.
you know, yeah.
No.
And of course, Mike McFarland, we have a good time too, Mike. Don't I'm not going to forget Mike.
Yeah, you can't throw him under the bus because
yeah,
no, watching.
no. Yeah, Mike's great. I love his stuff, man. His new video is amazing. So plug for him if you haven't seen his new video. Make sure you do. It's amazing.
That's right. I forgot the.
Yeah, his new video is pretty cranking, man. I was really impressed by that video. So I kind of preach that video when I'm around. Like, it's really well done. So yeah.
I have to remember. I have to watch that later.
Yeah, it's really killer, man. Yeah, you'll enjoy that video. It's very cool.
So I was watching here, and there's some of the videos that you and him were putting up. You guys performing that.
Yeah. Just looping in coffee shops. Yeah. It's good
Hey,
time.
it's no shame in that, isn't it?
No, it's awesome.
You guys
No, I
played
love it.
some good stuff.
Yeah, I love it, man. Yeah, I love coffee shops. I'm good with it.
So you want to jump over to the next track?
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
do. This song is also off the new album. Might as well plug some new stuff, right?
Why not?
This song is called "You'd Be the Same." It is about a serial killer who talks to you about what he feels he does, and how he kills people and why he does it is normal, and that everyone does the same thing. He believes, that everybody is the same monster. Like, he doesn't see anything what he's doing is wrong. You know how that works,
Yeah,
psychology part of this.
most of us do.
Yeah, so this song is called "You'd Be the Same." My eyes shift to my feet as my body heads for the door. I reckon I'll never be the same as I was before. My hands shake like they did during the war. They grip tight around your neck, just needing more. It's easy to do what I do. Think it'd be the same if you were me and I were you. How many times has this movie played in my mind? As soon as the credits roll, well, it begins to rewind. Am I normal as I play, or a monster of some kind? Maybe the realest part imagination, it seems. I can never decide. It's easy to do what I do. I think it'd be the same if you were me and I were you. I sit for hours like a clock on the wall. Stillness provides the peace I need to overcome it all. My body floats and yet it seems like maybe I might fall. Have I done this before? But it seems I can never recall. It's easy to do what I do. I think it'd be the same if you were me and I were you.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty slick, pretty slick song. When I wrote it, I was kind of going for a different style when I started writing it, and then I ended up going with this whole, like, is that my phone? Oh, okay, sorry about that. My phone was going off being weird.
I had that mistake earlier and I forgot to turn off my sound.
Yeah, my phone. When I started writing it, it was a whole different feel, and then I ended up going into this whole, you know, kind of shuffling, that whole, you know, it has that whole, you know, on the album you'll hear it, it's got the soloing, the very, you know, that kind of, but the subject matter, I always wanted to write a song about that, like, psychologically, anybody who's a psych major out there in the psych major world, a lot of these people, serial killers especially, they really don't see the wrong, you know, they don't really get what they do. They don't really see how it's wrong what they do, and they think that everybody is the same, that everyone inside has this thing that they do like they do. It's just, you know, everybody does it. Yeah. When truth, reality is that's not true, you know. So I wanted to write a song about how, you know, he from his point of view, how he sees the world being just like him. Like if he was you, if you were him and he were you, it'd still be the same scenario. You know what I mean? You'd be the murderer, and he'd be looking at you going, yes, murder's fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's, very crazy song, you know? Controversial, kind of. I've had some people kind of, how can you say that? You know, but I'm like, nah, dude, it's a song. Relax, you know?
That's true, you
I write
know.
about horrific things, like, that's what I, you know.
You know, you sort of freak out, but, yeah, it's a song. It's not, you know, anything different than a video game.
No, it's no different than reading a horror novel. It's just a story, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to put on the brakes just a little.
Yeah, people, you know.
People are weird.
Yes, oh, I know. I'm one of those weird people.
Hey, I learned it in my marketing class.
Yeah.
Professor Net, if it's one thing you take out of class, people are weird.
Yeah, it's true.
So with that, I'm not going to go that way. How do I want to form that? If you could pick out of the local scene of that, any certain people to play with, who would you choose?
That gets weird because I play with everybody. Like, God, I can't even think of anybody I played with that I didn't have fun with. Like, I mean, I played with, you know, Nick Wilkinson, you know, Kevin Conway, Mike McFarlane, I mean, you know, Steve Wright. I mean, I play with everybody and I have a great time. You know, I don't think there's anybody I've ever played with. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? So I don't really have favorites because they all have their own thing, and they all have their own personal kind of sound that I look for and go, yeah, you know. So here's what the nightmare would be. If they were all playing a gig together, if there was 50 bands locally that I've all jammed with before and I know, and they're all playing the gig, I want to be up on the stage the whole time because they each have things I want to do and jam with them on. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have to do it the whole time, which we couldn't be allowed. So yeah, so there really isn't a
Plus,
favorite.
you need to take a break in that at some point in time.
There really isn't a favorite. It's that I'm not, you know. I just, you know, I there's a lot of stuff I have from a lot of different perspectives that I like, even musically. You know, I play with country bands, jazz, blues, rock, indie, folk, metal, death metal, hardcore. I even do hip hop stuff with a band called Audio Sapiens. It's like, yeah, so there's, you know, it's I'm kind of all over there, you know.
I got you in that. Yeah. This is my disclaimer of I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble.
Yeah, well,
with anyone that just, you know, here there are those selfless plugs and things and that.
I mean, I know people that would answer with a name, Like this guy, you know? Yeah, I just never.
It's many people they answer whoever and that then more.
Yeah, and it's like, and you find
'Cause
it's
after-
always a multi-answer anyway. There's always multiple people.
Yeah.
But for me, man, it really isn't any one. Like, I don't really know anybody that I'm like, just that guy, you know? Although, I'll tell you what, I just went down to Syracuse and watched this guy with my buddy Joey. Went to this bar called Shifty's. It was really cool. Really cool place out in Syracuse. And I saw this guy named Colin Albertine. I'm saying his name right. Yeah, Colin Albertine. He's friends with me on Facebook now, so if you hear this and you want to check him out, he's this amazing blues player from Syracuse. And gosh, man, I went and saw this guy play. He's like, hey, come down and check out my buddy, Colin. So I went on to watch his show, and I was just blown away, dude. I sat there and watched him play, and it was, I can't even explain it to you. This is like as cool as you're gonna get, man. You listen to this guy's stuff. It's like listening to the old swings bands and the old blues bands. I mean, I can talk all I want. You gotta see this guy. So look up Colin Albertine on Facebook or something, man. Check out his music. This guy is the deal. He's been in the music business a long time, been touring a long, long time. That was my first time seeing him, and I can't wait to go back down to Syracuse when he plays a gig and check him out when I'm down there again. I'm definitely going to find out where he's playing and go see him again, because it was crazy. And he's the nicest guy. Big, gentle, giant guy. Walked up to me, super friendly. He hung out with me and Joe. Immediately, I friended him on Facebook. He was like, bam, started talking on Facebook too. Really great guy. I mean, yeah, and the whole bar was just hopping. So,
You
I like to
never
jam
know.
with him. That'd be cool to sit up and jam with him. Play
That's
some
what I
blues.
was about to say.
Yeah, so there you go. There's one. I'll name one. Colin Albertine. Yeah, I'd love to jam with him for a minute. That'd be sweet. Go and play some blues soloing stuff with him. That guy was crazy good.
I like it. I like the crazy plan.
Yeah.
So, crap, I forgot what I was going to ask. I blanked on that.
It's all right.
What was I going to ask? It was actually somewhat elaborate. I'll forget. I'll just move on to the next thing and that. But one thing, I always like to sort of play a little bit devil's advocate.
Right.
If, with all the instruments that you know, if you didn't know and had to start all over again, what would you choose?
Probably fiddle. Yeah.
That's a first.
Yeah, probably fiddle, or I would, because I play it a little bit. I can play
Yeah.
it, but I'm not awesome by any means. Or violin or fiddle, And they are different instruments. They sound completely different. People are like, "Oh, it's the same." Just like, and I'm like, "No, you don't understand. There's a technique to both." It's like banjos. There's not just a banjo. There's different techniques, different styles, different types of scrugging, different type of playing, different types of banjos.
That's true.
Carolina tuning, all these different types of tuning. So yeah, it's like, and that's the same thing with, they're two different monsters. And I really would love to go back over to Romania where I grew up for the most part, and seek out some really cool old school gypsy players and just sit with them and go, all right, man, show me what's up. Show me some of the old folk, yeah, dude, because you hear those guys play and you're like, what? It's crazy, and it's very cool. It's just very, very cool. It's a style I never got into. I didn't appreciate it as a kid because I didn't know what I was hearing. Now that I'm older, I live in the States
you
now, and I'm
appreciate
like, wow,
it now.
that was really cool what I witnessed back then. I just didn't know what I was witnessing because I was young and more interested in drinking beer, and partying with the dudes than I was listening to.
That's
what
fair
they were
enough.
doing.
That's most of irony in life.
Yep, so when I go back, I want to retire there. So when I go back to the country, I want to seek that out. I definitely do, and I want to kind of learn because I love that music. It's very cool,
Or it's just because, you left.
Yeah.
And now
yeah.
you appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's always
I'd like to
that
go back.
one.
Yeah, I would like to go back for sure and stay and log out.
Very fair enough in that. So, is it that? What was the next thing I was going to? Sitting here thinking in my head and out of what. So it was something it kept on my mind earlier this morning. I forgot about it. I hate that moment when that happens and that.
It happens.
It does. In this lifestyle and that, things do happen like that. not including the other thing, I forgot about the selfless plug of if people want to check you out, where should they go?
Yeah. Facebook. Look up Abadon Faluz, Abadon Faluz. Mediamanifesto.info is my website. And if you want to hear the Spotify, same thing, Abadon Faluz. If you want to hear the other band, Ashley, you can go on Facebook, Ashley-Band.
Okay.
Same thing, YouTube. Just look up Ashley. You'll find it
Yeah.
on there. Or just come to a show, man. Reverb Nation, look up Abadon Faluz. My calendar's all up on there. Come to any show. Most of my shows that I play are non-door entry. I'm not really a big believer in charging at a door unless it's like the Agora or someplace I can't handle. Like they do that. I can't pick that. But if it's a venue I'm playing, like in Geneva or somewhere, it's always no cover. Just come in, play, buy a beer, have a good time, listen to music, chill out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how I roll. I don't do a lot of this whole, just charge an arm and a leg for a show,
I gotcha.
Yeah. Matter of fact, during the summer, right around the corner from you, I play quite a bit at the Red Hawk Grill in Paynesville.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I play there. I've been playing there 3 years, and I'm already booked up for the whole next year. So if you go on my website, those dates will be up, and I'm usually outside in the patio jamming, doing some stuff. Sometimes looping, sometimes not. Depends on what I want to do that day. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm always there playing and jamming.
Fair
having a good
enough.
time. Yeah, so you can catch me. Go on there. I'm all over the place.
I believe that definitely sounds like it.
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
like keeping yourself busy, don't you?
I play about 25, 30 shows a month. I've been doing that for the last 9 years. Yeah, so that's
Wow.
that's my main income is playing music.
Yeah.
Outside of that, doing my producing and stuff like that. Yeah, I make some money writing, but for the most part, which I want to do a shameless plug as well. Go to rockcabal.com. January 1st is a magazine release called Rock Cabal, which I'm one of the premier writers on. Me and my buddy Jeremy Niche created it and hired me to partner with him and do this. It's all about gear and music and people, music you never heard, and upcoming stars. And same thing. I write if you ever want to read me locally, the North Coast Voice magazine, which you see laying around when you go to Beulah or Cleveland area, northeast Ohio. I write a thing called Talking Shop in there. Same deal. It's all about gear, bands, what's going on. I write for them as well, so you can kind of catch me on all that stuff. So yeah. I keep myself busy. I'm quite busy.
I see it.
Yeah.
So, within 5 years from now, what would you like to see yourself accomplish?
I don't know. I said before, like, I'm not really too, like you said, where would you be in a year, It's kind of the same answer in 5 years. It's kind of the same thing. I don't have any goals like that. I think I just roll with it, man. Something comes up cool. I'm more interested in honestly, I'm one of those kind of now guys, like, in the now, Obviously, you got to plan for some future stuff and be smart, yeah. But when it comes to my art form, it's all okay. It can, wherever it takes me, man. 5 years, who knows? Maybe 5 years from now, I'll be doing nothing but movie scores. I'll be doing no music at all anymore. Like myself, like actually writing, I might be just doing movies. I mean, who knows? I'm still in music, obviously, but who knows? You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah, I'm picking up on that a lot lately. I've been doing a lot more of those. I'm getting, I'm kind of, pad my resume with movies, and who knows what'll happen, man. I've been kind of attempting to get myself hooked up with some dudes, some Netflix guys, and some other stuff, and trying to get a little bit bigger. Trying to do a little bit more mainstream movies and mainstream TV. So who knows where that take me? Who knows? You never know.
Very valid in that. So, one thing in that, to one last song.
Yeah.
Then we'll come back with a few more things in that, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, I will play that song that I was talking about earlier. This is off the album You Have, History of Judaica. It's called When I Die. This is a song I wrote after I had passed away and dead for quite a bit, and then I got revived, and it was a pretty crazy experience. Took a good 2 months of readjusting my brain to understand what happened. It really did. I was kind of lost for a while.
I believe it.
Yep, and this song's about that. So. I can't say I hate you, although it's made its place. I can't say I've reconciled all that's been misplaced. And what it's worth I understand, give you bitter cause. 'Cause when I die, all is gone, nothing was at all. Creeping up from under the stone, dead chill wraps within my bones. She sways, pale and bitter cold, beautiful and precious to behold. Fall upon my window, a leech upon my bed. I seize a jest of restless bugs dwell within my head. I miss the ones that love me, although I'm not alone. Moisture on my brittle bed, I'll call this place my home. Creeping up from under the stone, dead chill wraps within my bones. She sways, pale and bitter cold, beautiful and precious to behold, yeah. Creeping up from under the stone, dead chill wraps within my bones. She sways, pale and bitter cold, beautiful and precious to behold.
I definitely, you nailed that, man.
Yeah, that's a pretty personal song. That was pretty personal.
Most definitely in that. So you have any different upcoming different shows you like to throw out there too?
I got quite a few shows coming up, man. The best thing to do is go on my website because I have so many shows. Like, you know, it's endless. This Thursday, we are at Ashley, my punk band Ashley. We're playing the Empire Club out in Akron. That's Thursday, and then after that, I have a gig in Mendon, New York. If you're up that way, at the Cottage Inn as Abadon Faluz. And then the next day, I'm playing somewhere I can't remember where. I think Lovely Tune in Erie or something. I gotta look. You gotta go to my schedule, man. I have so many shows. I look every day because I get lost. I don't remember. You know, I book too many shows. I can't remember all of them on certain days.
I understand you.
Yeah, that's
I completely
it's a downfall
understand
for me on that one there. You know.
Yeah, memory things and stuff.
Oh, it's crazy. I do way too many shows.
I definitely got it, but do appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah, dude, it's a good time, man.
Not including a few different people not looking in and that, not including, Joe, or was it, Joe that popped in and that was like, and he's just sitting there nodding his head and that.
Yeah. Cool.
Definitely appreciate your work.
Yeah, man.
Definitely have to get together that at some other point in time.
Yeah, man. I got a new album coming out, and by January it'll be out. We're still a few months away.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. If you ever want to have me come back in, just give me a shout, dude. If I'm in the area, this was fun, good time. We'll come back in, do some more songs, some other stuff they've never heard.
Talks about some other random different things and that
stuff, man.
Not including maybe I'm going to write down that question when that pops back in my head.
Yeah.
And
cool,
I won't forget it in that.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise, man. And if everybody comes to the next couple shows, if they can tell me that they heard me on the radio station, just say they heard me on Lake Effects, just come up and see me at a show, and I'll give you a free CD. So if they plug
that's a nice gesture.
Yeah, just have them come up to a show.
Appreciate
and if they say they
that,
heard me
man.
on the show, I'll give them a free CD, and they can take it home, check it out.